I like when teams assume that the other team is going to pick goats, and then you play to counter that. So like normally a team here would pick Anna Mercy or Zen Mercy or sometimes Brig Anna or something like that with the Pharah, and then they wouldn't be able to match the rotation. So you play the Lucio. There's a chance that they aren't playing it, so it's a little bit weaker, but you're able to match the rotations here if they're playing goats with Lucio, so with your own Lucio, so you won't get caught off guard. LGD better here to rotate and not feed as much ult charge to the Pharah. But the problem is IDK was able to just speed away, and so their engage wasn't as strong as it could have been. They are sustaining really well here, and Marvel overcommits into the cafe. He just needs to realize that they're not going to win with that. They're going to win with the barrage. Yeah, he just needs to poke a bit and then just give room and force them to use Matrix. Buy enough time for the barrage to come up or a hack to come off on the diva, so that then that's their win condition. Thinking EMP barrage here at the door probably pretty early. They're trying to force an engage, which is exactly what they need to do. Pop this Brig, but barrage actually gets decently countered. Yeah, maybe they're just resetting and changing the comp. I don't know if DM's changing. Could be Widow. Oh, he's going Bastion. Okay. Try has no energy. That's so bad. Is the bomb gonna clean them? No, the bomb doesn't hit anything. It was a really poor use of ults. I know you're probably getting tilted, but you don't want to just bin your Zarya ult. Dean probably goes Widow when he swaps here. He kind of gave himself away there, spraying on the wall. Oh, they had the Bastion ult and they were really able to just brute force it. He's walking back to spawn. It's probably Widow. It's either Widow or Sombra, I'd say. Yeah. That Widow's really far split. You can't play split whenever they have Doom. They don't want these fights. If you're LGD and you're playing Lucio Moira, you want these fights where you're fighting inside the castle. So it looks like that's what they do. They get like the rotation and they're playing inside the castle. But this is the chase that they don't want. They don't want these fights where they get isolated. Now they're out in the open and like there's discords gonna be coming off and like killing people. Sure, they get the Zen now, but they've now just like split their team up entirely. Like there's some people still on the high ground, some people still dropping. That's exactly what the Doom wants, is just picking people off like that after. The Mercy's able to just pop Valk, and whenever you're rotating as much as they were, like vertically, then the Moira is not going to be able to do anything. Heal wise, it's going to be really weak. You want to have horizontal movement with the Moira rather than vertical. Eileen's just dead here. This is kind of strange. They swapped Mercy Zen, and then they swapped Sombra Tracer. Like, they have Sombra Tracer. This is when they should Lucio Moira. It's fine to play that comp. Especially versus Doom Sombra. You want the Moira to be able to fade and be invulnerable. Oh, is this not 60 FPS? No. That's probably why it looks a bit choppy on my end. Yeah, they're letting the Doomfist like reset on them every single fight. Like, he's just sitting in a position where he's just able to roll out and kill one person every single fight. They either need to like scout more aggressively with the Sombra and then like play to hack him before they engage, or just play to like counter peel like all the time, because you can't just let your squishes get killed. Oh, he's going for a bit of a meme alt. He's just trolling at this point. They're playing with no care in the world. Like, if they were peeling properly, like, this Doom definitely should not be able to do this. Like, in the situation, look how many people are here for him. Okay, they're gonna play triple support. I don't know if I like that at all, but like, he's able to come over the wall alone. He ults. Okay, so they peeled for him properly. He's got his cooldowns up again, though. And then the Zen's just isolated. He's all alone. The Mercy Pocket's not enough. You have to have a tank eat some of the cooldowns in front of him. Or you just swap the Tracer to be a Sombra and then you play to hack him. But like, someone's got to be on him. Like the Brig, the Monkey, the D.Va. Someone's got to be on him to eat some of the damage. It can't be the Mercy. The Mercy can't heal him through it. I think they just buy room for DM here. I can't remember correctly. They're playing it slow, and they have the advantage technically playing it slow if Shy only gets like 15% alt charge per translocate. Team swaps to counter. It's probably fine. Stick on the Widow. I guess Kree's okay though. It's not super meta. Shy was able to build ult fast, and they got a kill, but I don't know if they're trading well enough for it. I guess it's fine. Look for an instance there, like they were potentially going to like trade someone on their tank line for it. And if you just do it in the wrong spot at the wrong time, you can end up like counter snowballing the fight because they can just gain room because you'll be low, and then they can just get a res off, and then you won't be able to match the res. LGD has to be like careful in that situation where they're going for the aggressive play. You don't want to end up like you want to like force ults and like force them to have to overcommit to like basically take the space, but the pharmacies are mirroring each other, that's fine. Tanks are like by broken, this is good as well. Like they're playing to like dive the Kree here. The Kree or the which is also fine, but he's getting double pocketed here. And then they're double support ulting. But they don't want to like they overcommit and they stay too long. Like they got the ults out and then they're having to like use their own double support ults to basically just mirror it. Which again is fine, but your Pharah can easily get in a bad position here where you're forcing your Mercy to then be in a bad position and then it just snowballs on itself. I would say it was much closer than it could have been. Also, DM just decides to swap off, which is probably for the best. Wait, did Chai build an ult during that fight? Oh wow, he farmed it really efficiently. Holy shit. He built it in that one fight. Okay, well, that worked well for him. So maybe them playing that a bit riskier and just giving him the chance to build it was actually really good. Where are these barrages from? I guess the tanks are all like bundled here, so there's not a lot of threat. I hate that they don't use the mini-map like at all ever, even though it's so amazing. Could they have touch? They probably could have touched. LGD could have. Oh, the monkey peels off. I guess it doesn't look that winnable, so. I probably just should have reset on the point rather than getting staggered like they are right now. Because then they could potentially get a fight like really early on here at the door rather than like letting it force out. Yeah, it forces out, and then they're dropping. Like you want to have, if you're swapping to Brig, you definitely want to fight in that box down here in this area, all down here. Then once the card actually starts to get off, where your Brig has to drop here, it then becomes like way more out in the open, and there's a chance that you can just get kited really hard. Or like literally as the team is dropping, they're falling onto the ground as they're EMP'd. And they're really just able to get picked apart. I think if they would have reset more properly for the first, like they realize, hey, we lost first, it's fine. Let's reset, hold early. Then I think that's the play that they want, rather than doing what they did, which is basically just feed ults and just jump into them. I'm sure they got EMP out, but I mean that doesn't matter if you're not able to mirror it. Like they don't even have time to get like a fight in castle now with like a good Brig fight. Like the Brig's gotta most likely just be on card or just peeling on the high ground. long as they're able to keep the Moira up here, that's actually really massive. No, it looks like LGD wins the fight. Again, it's like I didn't even see the Moira in that fight, like with the camera work, so I couldn't really judge it. But they did do a good thing where they used both their support ults, and I think the LGD was basically baited into using both of theirs because they didn't want to lose the game. So you trade the support ults, and then you look to EMP the tanks. I think that's the best play you can probably do for Lucky Future is the tanks can use their ults on their own, and a lot of times if the supports have the ults, then like tanks can just eat the EMP and then use the supports after. But if you force the supports to use the ults to basically mirror yours, then the next fight you can EMP the tanks who aren't gonna have the support ults to keep them alive. And they're like mad stacked right now. They're just stacked for the Brig ult. Oh, if they were more set up right there, that would have been really free. So I'm into this pharmacy is actually really smart from them as well. They have like nothing to counter on LGD. Their kill potential went down though. If they're playing back as far as they were, like I feel like they overcommitted for that like way too hard. Where the EMP should have come out much sooner. So like, let's go back. So he's like looking for this EMP for how long? Starts at like minute 10. Yeah, he waits like 25 seconds to use it, and then it's like not even that optimal. Who else does he hit? Looks like he only hits the Zen, and at that point, like they're so far in. Like Ursa isn't getting any ult charge right here because like the whole fight's taking place inside like this building, so he's not getting any poke in there. Like everyone is fighting in there, and then they start to come out here, and then again it's just fighting in the buildings. So they end up just fighting in a spot where it's not optimal for them. Sure, they get the EMP on the Zen, but if your other DPS isn't able to do anything, then it doesn't mean anything. So that EMP should have just been out much sooner and just gotten a mass amount of members rather than doing